right, so I've got my little house here. So let me go ahead and open that. Put it in content and test map. There we go. Okay, so we have our house here, and then what we want to do is we want to start adding lights to it. Okay, so if I go in here, we can see that it's fairly dark, and then my eyes adjust. That's an Unreal Engine thing. But what we want to do, and you can also turn that off if you want to, but what we want to do is we want to kind of create a light system for this room to make it look more believable. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my starter content, and then I'm going to go to my props folder. And in props, there's a small lamp ceiling. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the roof. Now you could turn it over and you could make it a floor lamp, whatever. Okay, so there that is. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to put a light inside of it so that it lights up the environment realistically. Like you can see they already have a glowing light bulb in there, but it doesn't actually light up anything. So we're going to need to go ahead and light that up with an actual light um, system. So over here on my Place Actors tab, I'm going to go ahead and click on well, I'm going to use a point light, but you can get there two different ways. You can use it from basic, or you can go to lights, where it's going to give you all the lights. I'm going to go ahead and choose a point light. I'm going to put it kind of under that. I want to put it under it and not this far under because it's lighting the whole room and not just the what's in there. So what we can do is we can switch like a top view, and this allows us to place it really well, really easily. Okay. And then we can do a left view, and we can just kind of move it up there. There we go. All right, so now we'll go back and look at it. And you can see that it's actually casting. There we go. So now it's actually casting the light down, and obviously you can move that where you want. I'm going to turn off my snap so I can just do some slight sliding on this thing. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, so I'll turn my snap back on. That way I have them just in case I need them. So that gives me a basic light. So you can see that now when we go inside, we actually have our lights casting from this lamp here. And it automatically did the shadow based on that shade there. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and just like throw down a table. And obviously you can put some chairs and stuff around it if you wanted to. But that's just kind of the basic idea of using props and putting them in place. Putting them in place around the room. So this one I'm just going to mirror so I can see that X I want to mirror. So I'm going to right click and mirror X, and that's going to flip it around for me. There we go. So there we go. Now I have that happening. Now let's go ahead and look at some materials. So if I go back to starter content and then open my materials folder, we have all these pre-made materials that we can start messing with. For instance, we could use cobblestone, rough, smooth, ceramic tile, brick, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and make our walls brick. And to apply a texture to a simple flat object like these walls, all you're going to do is drag and drop it. And you can see that it goes ahead and goes on there really well and changes pretty much how the entire thing looks. And you could also just select this piece here and you could pick it down here to change your material. But you can also just grab and drag. or you could change the default material of that object. Okay, so now we have walls down. We don't have the roof done. I'll just go ahead and apply a basic floor to the roof. And for the floor, we don't have anything on it right now. It's just this default kind of beige color. Now, unfortunately, since I didn't put any floor panels down, when I adjust the floor, it's going to adjust the whole thing. So if I just apply this wood oak floor, it unfortunately is going to adjust that whole thing. But if we're just walking around inside, it really doesn't matter. Well, of course, unless we look out the window, right? Then it matters. But for the most part, this is just an example of using materials and placing down lights. Now, this spotlight or this point light you could change to a spotlight. You could change to any light just by looking at how these lights work. So directional lights are usually used as like the sunlight. So there's already one out here. So if I come over here, there's already one out here for us. Point lights act just like a light bulb. Spotlight acts just like a spotlight. So it actually casts this cone out that you can see. Rectangular light is a rectangle light, and then a skylight is used up here to form all the lighting in the sky using the directional light and all that stuff to make that happen. It's really cool. All right, so that's it for part 2. Again, pretty simple. Materials, lighting, nothing too crazy, but I hope you have fun with it.